Daylight saving time. It's not just losing an hour of sleep, it's losing your health. We all feel it. That groggy, disoriented feeling when we spring forward. It's not just in our heads. Daylight saving time, DST, disrupts our internal clock, our circadian rhythm. This rhythm dictates our sleep-wake cycles, hormone release, and even our body temperature. When we abruptly shift time, our bodies are thrown off balance. We experience sleep deprivation, even if it's just for a few days. This sleep loss might seem insignificant, but its effects are far-reaching. We become more fatigued, less alert, and our cognitive functions take a hit. It becomes harder to focus, our memory falters, and we're more prone to making mistakes. The consequences go beyond just feeling tired. Studies show a spike in workplace accidents and traffic incidents immediately following the DST shift. Our reaction times are slower, and our decision-making abilities are impaired. This lack of sleep can be downright dangerous, not just for ourselves, but for those around us as well. Is this annual disruption really worth the risks to our health and safety? We are not machines that can be switched on and off with the flick of a switch. Our bodies crave consistency and balance, especially when it comes to sleep. By disrupting our natural rhythms, DST throws our bodies into a state of chaos, with consequences that reverberate far beyond a lost hour of sleep. The disruption caused by DST goes beyond our brains. It impacts our hearts as well. Research has shown a disturbing link between the springtime change and an increased risk of cardiovascular events. Heart attacks, strokes, and other heart-related issues see a noticeable spike in the days following the DST shift. Why the strain on our hearts? The sudden time change triggers a surge in stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones cause our blood pressure and heart rate to fluctuate, putting extra stress on our cardiovascular system. For individuals who are already at risk for heart disease, this sudden jolt can be the tipping point, triggering a serious health crisis. But it's not just about the immediate aftermath. The chronic sleep deprivation caused by DST can have long-term effects on our cardiovascular health. Lack of sleep is linked to increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, and an increased risk of developing heart disease over time. Our hearts work tirelessly to keep us going, but DST throws a wrench into their rhythm. We need to prioritize our cardiovascular health and recognize that this seemingly small act of changing our clocks can have dire consequences. The mental and emotional toll of DST is often overlooked, but it's just as significant as the physical impacts. The sleep disruption caused by DST can wreak havoc on our mental well-being, exacerbating existing conditions and even triggering new ones. Studies have shown a clear link between DST and an increase in mood disorders like anxiety and depression. The lack of sleep disrupts our brain chemistry, throwing off delicate neurotransmitter balances that regulate our mood and emotions. We become more irritable, prone to mood swings, and less resilient to stress. For individuals already struggling with mental health challenges, the transition to DST can be particularly difficult. Seasonal affective disorder, SAD, a type of depression linked to the change in seasons, can be exacerbated by the time change. The disruption to our circadian rhythm further throws off our internal clock, intensifying feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and fatigue. Our mental well-being is just as important as our physical health. By ignoring the mental health impacts of DST, we are neglecting a crucial aspect of our overall well-being. Section 4. Beyond tiredness, metabolic disruptions, and chronic conditions. The impact of DST extends far beyond just feeling tired. The disruption to our internal clock has profound effects on our metabolism and can exacerbate a range of chronic health conditions. Our bodies rely on a delicate balance of hormones to regulate appetite, energy levels, and blood sugar. The sleep deprivation caused by DST throws these hormones out of whack. We experience increased hunger, particularly for sugary and processed foods, as our bodies try to compensate for the lack of energy. This hormonal imbalance can lead to weight gain and increase the risk of developing insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. Moreover, DST can worsen symptoms for individuals already managing chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and autoimmune disorders. The stress on our bodies from sleep deprivation, hormonal imbalances, and the disruption to our internal clock can trigger flare-ups and make it harder to manage these conditions effectively.
Check.
Section 5. Time for change, reclaiming our health and well-being. The evidence is clear. Daylight saving time is not just an inconvenience, it's a public health hazard. From sleep deprivation and heart risks to mental health issues and metabolic disruptions, the negative impacts of DST are far-reaching and undeniable. The good news is that we have the power to change this. Public opinion is shifting, with a growing number of people recognizing the need to abolish DST and prioritize our health and well-being. We need to keep the momentum going and make our voices heard. Contact your elected officials, sign petitions, and spread the word about the dangers of DST. Let's work together to create a healthier, more aligned world where our internal clocks are no longer held hostage by an outdated and harmful practice. It's time to reclaim our sleep, our health, and our well-being. It's time to end daylight saving time for good.